Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Dakota Kustomz un-RIVETED. I'm your host, Travis Feist, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Rob McLeod.
What's up, everybody?
Pretty crazy weather we had last night.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
I thought nothing of it until I kept on seeing a bunch of pictures on social media. I was like, that was serious.
Yeah.
Like, my sister sent me a Snapchat, and she was legitimately concerned. I was just making grocery runs and making supper and just oblivious of what was going on outside.
Right. Well, it's hard to believe that, there's still, believe it or not, there's still snow on the ground out there, and it's hailing. That's the first time I've ever come across where there's still snow on the ground and it's hailing.
So when I heard that we didn't hit the snowfall record, I was pretty disappointed just because of all what we had to deal with, and we didn't even break the record. And so I'm going to write a well-written letter saying that this hail counts as snowfall, and we're going to get it.
Yeah.
And we're going to get something for what we endured.
I think they can give us credit for that.
That's the least they could do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me know how that works.
Yeah.
Kind of curious.
Yeah. I've written some pretty good letters.
Yeah.
I've got it down. Like, I even taken penmanship classes.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened to those?
It's just everything's been going well. I haven't written any letters in a while,
yeah.
So I kind of lost the technique.
Yeah. Well, it's like riding a bike, I guess. Get right back on it.
Not really.
Not really.
No.
Shop's been busy. We got a lot going on. Hopefully the sun will come out a little bit and start warming up. I think it's supposed to get a little warm today.
Yeah, maybe we'll dry out our parking lot so you don't get upset with me when I decide to hit every single puddle on test drives.
That would be nice. I'd appreciate if you'd not do that.
Yeah. But no, we got a little bit of everything in the shop. I got a Euro, an imported Audi S6. Mm-hmm. You just tidied up the exhaust on that right before the podcast. It's going to be cool. Just got to do the tuning on it. Then, of course, RJ's Defender. Yeah,
we did a post yesterday on that. It never fails with RJ.
No.
It's when he calls you, that it's not something simple and easy, and it's insane how much. And so on this post that we did, we took a picture of everything that he wanted us to install in this Defender. And talking to him yesterday, I don't think he's done. I think there's still more stuff coming the way he talks.
And how? I think we might throw a turbo on that thing.
Yeah, I know we talked about, and I know he's kind of getting to that point where, he wants to turn this into a pretty unique machine. And, we were realizing that there's no door locks in this thing. So you buy this machine with power windows and AC and heat and everything else, but no door locks. So I told him, I said, well, we can put actuators in this thing. And I said, even better yet, why don't we just do a car starter? And I don't know if I should have said that or not, because, boy, you should have seen him light up. And, of course, with RJ, it's, if it can be done.
If it's possible.
He's always on board. And so, hopefully I was hoping he wasn't quite listening to me, but he really was. So I think we're committed to putting a car starter in this thing. We're going to try it, but I know we talked about it. And, of course, RJ, he likes cool stuff. So,
yeah, if you tell him that we can go to the moon with the top down, he'd be like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, let's go. Shotgun. I know that's what he'd say.
Yeah, but we got, it was just kind of expected with RJ that we're going to do everything to that machine. And then,
and which is nice because he kind of he does let us do our thing. He gives us the truckload of parts and accessories to put in everything that he brings us. But then he's like, now you guys do you. And that's what I really like about it, is the fact that, we can think outside the box. He's not, he likes things a certain way, but he also gives us the freedom to, if we see something or come across something, he's always on board. I think we've earned that trust with him.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said. Is he didn't just give us that trust. It's like we've executed enough projects for him to where he doesn't even have to. It's understood.
Yeah. So that's what's nice. That I enjoy doing stuff like that. So stay tuned. We'll be posting pictures of that and showing the progress on as we start moving. I started on it last night.
Yeah. But speaking of side by sides, we got a returning guests. We have Toby and Addilynn.
Hello.
Glad you guys could come in and visit with us for a little bit.
Yep.
So we had you on our podcast last year, and there's a couple things. You're kind of here for two reasons, actually. You guys started the first annual Addilynn's Bee-Lievers. It's kind of like a multi-event, actually. I was going to say it wasn't quite a car show and it wasn't a truck show, but it's
actually
like,
a great concept.
It was, and we were a part of it last year, and you guys had, it was not only do you have a car show, you had the big rig semi truck show, you had a band, I believe, a couple nights, I think, or no, it was the one night, because last year it was only the one day event. Bunch of vendors, and you had John Schneider show up, which I think Sean kind of really, everybody can thank him for putting that together, and that was pretty neat to have him come here, and we got to visit with him. Pretty nice guy, and he was on our podcast also.
I've never seen, I've known Sean for a while, and he was kind of like a little kid. He was kind of giddy.
Oh, yes. It was definitely a dream come true for him. And, I mean, I watched Dukes of Hazzard growing up, too.
Right.
So, with my dad and stuff. So it was really just kind of neat to see everybody's reactions. And,
what I thought was really funny was when we were sitting at the vendor in our tent, and it was right at the entrance of the actual show. And we were sitting there, and all of a sudden, John Schneider came out on the motorcycle, and I think they stepped out for just a little bit to go for a quick bike ride. And John was in front, of course, his hair, his fro was hanging out, and here was Sean right behind, and I kind of started laughing because I'm like, you could just tell, like, Sean's like, that's my idol. Like, he was so happy to be behind John Schneider, and like, he was just right on his tail, just like a proud little puppy, just right behind Sean.
Yeah, you just.
And I started laughing. I said, I bet you Sean right now is just, you could tell he just.
That was awesome to see.
He had his orange, I think he even had his orange Rebel hat on, or his General Lee hat on, and just a proud peacock being behind John on his bike. But I won't forget that image that I had when he rode by our booth. But it was really cool. You guys put on a great event. I think, what was it, 100? Or was it over 200 trucks, I think?
I don't remember. I should have asked them before we came. I think it was somewhere between 100 and 200. I don't think they went over 100, but I feel like they were maybe closer to 200 than they were to 100.
The place was full.
Yeah, it was. And when we got in there super early to wash cars to get them in our display. And again, we were right at the entrance.
That was cool.
In which we'll be there again for the second one. Mm-hmm. But we sat there for hours, and that was the one way in. And I'm telling you, that was awesome. Mm-hmm. Just to sit there and watch those semis come in. It was pretty impressive to see the quality and just the wow factor in a lot of these trucks. And it was pretty neat. And turned out a good hit. You guys had a bunch of cars too show up for the car show.
Mm-hmm. A lot of nice cars.
Yeah.
Half of them were Sean's, but
well,
I
mean,
naturally,
still works.
Still works, right?
Yeah. We'll say a quarter of them were Sean's.
Yeah. So, beans it was, and because of all that, it actually, the whole concept behind it is, to help raise money. So for this darling little girl over here, Addilynn, and if you want to explain a little bit, just, I know.
Maybe have some new listeners.
Yeah, just in case anybody wasn't listening, last podcast on just what this whole event comes down to and what the purpose of it is. if you can just explain a little bit.
Sure. So we founded Addilynn's Bee-Lievers a year ago officially. We kind of have always called her little tribe of supporters that. She has a rare diagnosis, which means less than 200,000 people in the United States have the same diagnosis. And basically, she has a variant on a gene called CACNA1A, which is responsible for how our brain cells communicate. And we all have 2 copies of this gene. But on one of her copies, the coding got mixed up, so it doesn't function the way that it should. And as a result, she has severe epilepsy, developmental delays. She's had hemiplegic migraines, things that are supposed to be a typical thing from a cold to a surgery end up being very complicated for her. She started showing symptoms when she was a baby, but we didn't get a diagnosis until she was 3. And since she's been 3, she's had 3 or 4 life-threatening neurological events where all of her therapy progress has basically been wiped out, and she's had to start over, and we, have questioned the worst outcome possible, and she always comes back stronger than ever, and she's a tough cookie.
For sure.
Yeah. So with that in mind, we wanted to figure out a way locally to get some support to facilitate research for a treatment or potentially a cure for individuals who have a variant on the CACNA1A gene. Right now, that in order to get research for that kind of stuff, you need money, you need researchers interested in it. And when she was first diagnosed, we were just basically told there's no research, there's no treatment, there's no cure. We'll just try to keep her seizures under control as best as we can and have her go to therapy, which was pretty frustrating and terrifying too when you think about what the future could potentially hold.
And no parent wants to hear stuff like that either.
No, absolutely not. So since then, a lot of advocacy work has been done with parents of kids with CACNA1A, and there's a group of moms out east that have made a lot of contacts with researchers who are interested in helping improve the quality of life for individuals with a CACNA1A variant. So we wanted to spread awareness and develop some sort of platform to help raise money to support foundations like the CACNA1A Foundation. But we also wanted to make sure that we were supporting our community as well. Addilynn did a project for school where she was asked to describe herself, and she said she is nice and she likes to make people happy. So with that spirit in mind, we thought about, well, what can we do to help other families and other kids? And that's how we came up with the ideas to deliver what we're calling family comfort kits to the hospitals, just a bunch of essentials, kind of our survival kit that we've developed with having to suddenly go to the hospital and not having anything. So we gave out 20 of those last year, and we have gotten some replies back from people saying this is exactly what we needed. We came from out of town. We got labs and we had to get admitted and we had nothing, So it was really nice to hear that people are appreciative of those. And then the other things that we're doing is trying to help families with out-of-pocket expenses for physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. Sometimes insurance doesn't cover all of those therapies, and we know how important it is to maximize function and independence and increase quality of life. And then the other thing that we're hoping to do is to help families with the out-of-pocket costs of adaptive equipment, because insurance doesn't always cover everything, and it's not cheap.
It's pretty neat that as a parent and as an individual dealing with something like this, just to hear everything that you go through and what you take in as a parent and as a mother for Addilynn and the expenses and everything. And you're doing these, like this car show and stuff like that to help raise money, not only to help you and the cause, but you're also taking that and turn on giving back at the same time. And that's pretty amazing. You don't hear a lot of people that do that. Usually it's in and it stays in, and they use it until it's all gone. But you bring it in, and then you figure out a way to not get greedy, and I guess the kind of the way of saying it, and just keeping it all and worrying about yourself as you're turning it around and helping other people that are in the same predicament, and it's pretty amazing that you can find not only the time and effort, but just to do that in return means a lot. That people are got to be pretty appreciative on that whole concept.
Yeah, your direction with this is pretty great, pretty outstanding. You covering a lot of bases. What is, I guess it's a pretty broad question. Maybe we'll gear it towards Addilynn. What's the outlook based on a year ago, after a year's time after you held your first event? How are things looking, I guess, with Addilynn?
With Addilynn, so
She seems to be looking great.
Yeah, she's looking.
growing.
She's looking good. She's growing.
Definitely.
She had to have a pretty significant surgery in October. Where we were told 4 to 6 day hospital stay, and you would go home for 6 weeks and get casts off. But nothing is ever easy with CACNA 1A, and everything we got through for a loop. She wound up basically being in the hospital for 6 weeks, just because it was like one complication after another. She basically went through 4 surgeries at once, wound up with pneumonia, needed a blood transfusion, and then her brain stopped triggering her to breathe while she was asleep. So we had a lot of things to work through. And then, when you're not functioning normally, you don't eat and drink normally, and your stomach gets kind of mad at you, and anesthesia makes things worse. And so it was a really rough road. And that's just, it kind of seems to be the norm with individuals with a CACNA 1A variant. Nothing is simple. Nothing goes the routine way that they say it's going to go. There's always wrenches that are thrown in it. So even when she is in a good season, we're kind of always waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Right. But it is, it's crazy that coming in here, she looks really good. I mean, not that she didn't. I mean, that's not what I'm saying. But compared to last year till now, I mean, she looks really good. I mean, I can tell she's growing. She's got that smile, and it's good to see, actually.
Yeah, we're very thankful to be in a good season, because we've definitely had our share of not good seasons.
I can imagine.
Sure. Yeah.
So with that coming up here, you guys are, being last year went so good, you decided to do it again on the whole event. Now that's going to be coming up here on the Buggies and Blues weekend, and it was actually so good that you guys decided to do a 2-day event instead of a 1-day, which is good too, because I would have to say, honest to God, we've been to a lot of shows, car shows, bike shows, and for the first time putting together or show that you guys put on, was pretty impressive. It was a great turnout. There was a ton of people, a lot of the cars, trucks, a lot of participants that showed up to it, and we were busy all day long. I mean, it was a great turnout. There was a lot of people over there, and then they had the truck pulls, I believe, that night, which brought in a great crowd there also. Yep. So I think doing a 2-day event probably was a great idea. That's going to be so Friday and Saturday, the weekend of Buggies and Blues, correct?
Yes.
So I was also told, being that Sean's must have, I don't know, we have to hook up with Sean, because apparently he's got some pull on getting people here. So apparently Steve Darnell with Welder Up is going to be here for this show, and he's going to bring some I think 2 cars, I
Yeah.
heard through the grapevine.
I am not sure exactly how many or what he's
Or
bringing.
he's probably going to have his car on the semi. So,
Yeah.
2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
An
that way.
MPO, the Mandab Progress Organization, did facilitate this, but then offered for us to kind of be in on it with them because they knew that we were going to be doing something Friday and
Oh, sure,
Saturday
okay.
to just kind of spread it throughout the whole weekend so everybody can get a chance to meet him and see what he
Sure.
does. So we're really excited to have him join us.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I think I'm excited too.
Yeah, I think I could definitely see him. He's got a lot of cool rat rod Peterbilts. I could see him bringing one of those just because they are doing a show and shine, a big rig show and shine. So whatever he brings, people are gonna love it.
Yeah.
They stick some really cool motors into his projects, and just really unique stuff. So yeah, but so what is now? I guess maybe the outlook towards from a research standpoint, or is it even? I guess any progress is good progress, even
Yeah.
if it's little.
So, like I said, we have thrown some financial support to the Kaknawine Foundation, and they are doing a lot of great work. They just awarded a grant to a researcher who has potentially figured out a way to do gene therapy to essentially fix the gene. So, without getting too scientific,
That'd be huge.
the Kaknawine gene is is a huge gene. So it's hard to do targeted genetic therapies on it because it's so big, because you have to have a carrier to recode
A lot
the
of
gene.
moving parts.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when the gene is big, it's harder to get how they're going to fix the coding to where it needs to be. So, but this researcher found a way that he thinks that it's possible. So I feel like that's super exciting for us. Individuals with a Kaknawine variant have symptoms that range from very mild to quite severe and life-altering, and Addilynn is at the severe end of the spectrum. So we really feel like we're on borrowed time to make sure that we do as much as we possibly can to help facilitate researchers and support all the initiatives. But they have that, and then there's some other types of treatments that potentially target the gene that can just turn off the one that isn't working the way that it should, but you have to find a delicate balance between turning that one off and keeping the other one working.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's so
Yeah.
complex and complicated,
Like checks and balances,
Mm-hmm.
but like on a really serious level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you seen, even just since last year, the supporters and, the people that follow you and have you seen that grow? And then have you noticed, has there been more cases of this?
So, as far as our local support, I definitely think it's grown since we started. Just, we go places and people recognize her constantly. Oh, look, it's Addilynn.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who Sean and I are, but they
Yeah.
know who she is. And then as far as like diagnoses, to my knowledge right now, she's the only one in North Dakota. There's a few kids in Minnesota, and I don't know if it's lack of access to testing because we're more rural versus it seems like there's more people being diagnosed in more populated areas, so just different access to testing and healthcare specialists and things like that, or what. But they're saying that, they only recently started testing for variants on this gene because they didn't realize all of the havoc that it could cause. So when we first started looking for a reason for her delays when she was a baby, they probably wouldn't have found it because there's adults getting diagnosed now that have had symptoms throughout their life and couldn't figure it out. And so they go back and redo the genetic testing and it comes up. So, it's still classified as a rare disease. In 5 years, I don't know if it will be, just depending on technology and things like that.
I remember from last year's podcast, just when you kind of informed us about the Captain 1A. So you said anything under 200,000 cases is rare. Like, I remember isn't hers like, it's got to be like ultra rare?
Right. So Addelynn's variant is ultra rare because she is the only one in the CACNA 1A family that has her variant. So like Sean and I are not carriers. It just kind of happens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You know,
I remember just like over like what you like the probability. I was like, wow, like yeah.
Yeah, it's called a de novo variant. So basically it just happens and nobody knows why. You know, if she would ever have kids, they would have a 50% chance of having it. You know, so it could be passed down. But there are families where each family, you know, several of the family members have a variant, but each one of them presents differently. So that's the other hard thing about this is, you know, it doesn't present the same, and some people respond really well to certain like seizure medications, and other people it's a nightmare. Like, you know, we tried one that lots of other people have had good luck with, and it really made her brain very, very, very angry. And the months of August and September of 2021, she had over 500 seizures, and she couldn't sleep without clustering and needing medications. So, yeah.
And I suppose that's hard to even try to diagnose something that is so rare, you know, because you don't have so many cases to just keep testing, you know. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure like that, it's all just a process.
And I think even the inconsistency across the board, it's like once you get some found research on one case, it's like, well, the next one's completely different. It's like, well, then you just, that's what would probably be, that would, if, like, that would drive me crazy. Like, so, like, hats off to you on just, like, mentally dealing with it. Like, it's, that's, wow.
Initially, we were told just to stop looking because they didn't think that they would be able to diagnose they would be able to find out what was wrong when she was a baby and we first started.
And no parent, mother, father,
you know,
wants to do that.
Yeah, and right? So we did take a little bit of a break, but then it's like, well, we just can't. There has to be an answer with all of the technology we have. There has to be something that can help us. But we went through a lot of normal test results. We ruled out a lot of things that were scary. But it's like, you know, kind of a double-edged sword where you want an answer so bad, but you don't want it to be this one or that one or whatever, you know, and so you're thankful for the normal result, but then it's still like, well, now what's going on, you know? And
that's what I'm sure, like you said, was hard is just because they tell you no here or, you know, just, you know, it is what it is, that it's like, no. We can keep looking, keep trying. I mean, there's got to be something somewhere, you know, some answers or, you know, something. There has to be. Right.
And hopefully paving the way so families don't have to hear, like what we did. Like, you know, you're not going to find anything. And then we did find something and we just heard, well, there's nothing you can do, you know. So that's kind of part of our goal with trying to spread awareness to what kind of tests should you ask for, who should you go see, how do you manage care out of state. Most of her specialists are 450 miles away, you know, which can be hard too.
Yeah. But I feel like all things considered, there's been greater medical breakthroughs that has taken place. So I think that would, if I were in this, that would give me hope. Like, oh, this is possible. Like, there's, for lack of better words, crazier things have happened. Right. You know. So.
And the feedback that the CACNA 1A Foundation has received from researchers is they're very interested. You know, but in order to do research, you need money. So you need people to fundraise and make sure that your money is going to places that are going to fulfill your goals. And so that's the other thing too. Like, there's no way that we could try to figure out how do we, you know, collaborate with researchers, because you need such a specific knowledge base to make sure that they are doing what they should be with your hard-earned fundraising donations. So I'm thankful that we have the CACNA 1A Foundation to support, because they are doing an amazing job with that piece.
But it's enough. I mean, you're just being a wife, being a mother, and taking care of Addilynn, and then that on its own is a full-time job too, to keep on top of all that. So it's nice to know that if you're not, that people fill in and can still stay on top of it to give you the answers that you're looking for, and making sure to stay, with the answers that you're looking for and everything else. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah, my hat's off to the both of you guys, because I know Sean also runs a very well-ran, successful business too. So just you guys figured out a way to just
make it work.
I feel like if Sean could just be stressed alone just from his fires that he's got going on. So it's awesome to see you guys. It's cool to see motivated minds just take all challenges on and just
the cause is good, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So Addilynn's got to be how old now?
She'll be 9 in October.
Okay, sure.
So 8.5-ish
Yeah.
right now. Yep.
Yeah, that's. Well, she definitely looks good. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming in. And again, so the Addilynn's Bee-Lievers is at Friday, June 9th at the Dakota Speedway, and Saturday at June 10th at the Speedway. And I believe it starts at, I think, 10 o'clock both days, I think. And then there's let's see that list there. Just kind of read off a little bit what we all got going on here. So on Friday is, of course, the truck and car show. And then Saturday, it looks like same thing too. And then they're having the meet and greet with Steve at noon. And then at 1 o'clock, they have the public meet and greet for the public. And then it looks like you guys are having a silent auction from 10 to 2 on Saturday.
Yep.
And then a live auction from 3 till 4.
Yeah, whenever it's over.
Yeah, until whenever, yep. And then at 4 o'clock is the truck pull again. So if people want to, help donate or participate in this, they don't have to come to the car show. You have an actual website and Facebook, I believe,
Yep,
correct?
we have just AddilynnsBee-Lievers.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We can take donations through our website. We can take them through Facebook. With the car show, you can come Friday, or you can come Saturday, or you can come both days. We're doing dash plaques for the first 50 people who register. Free will donation for a registration fee. And then we're also going to have trophies. I'm thinking we're going to do the award ceremony kind of right around that live auction time. But so the categories that Sean came up with, I brought them with, so I have to remember.
Oh, sure.
We're doing a People's Choice or Best in Show. So we'll have voting set up for everybody. And then we're going to do stock car, modified car, stock truck, modified truck, rat rod, project vehicle, and straight rod pro touring.
So this is just the car part. You guys aren't doing nothing for the big rigs.
No.
Okay.
So I don't know that they are going to do anything like that this year, or if that will be something. I mean, we're really thankful for Greg and Chad and their wives for inviting us to partake in their Hammer Down Big Rig Show and Shine, because it's such a unique event. And my brother is a trucker. My brother-in-law is a trucker. We know how important these guys are to everything that we do, and to see everybody come together in this family-friendly thing and then support us too. It just has been really touching and wonderful. Something else that we're adding is we are going to do a kid zone with a bunch of different games and things that are she could do every single one of them. That was kind of my criteria for having something just to make it more family friendly. And talking to the guys that do the Hammer Down Big Rig Show and Shine, they just want something where truckers can spend time with their family and friends and just have a good time and relax, because their families go through a lot. You know, they're away from each other a lot, and just to show appreciation. And yeah, it's really cool to watch the trucks drive in.
Right.
And I think they do a light show on
Yeah.
Saturday night
Yep.
too,
At night, yeah.
which is really amazing. I just saw videos because we were at home.
Sure.
Because she was sleeping, but
But I know
Yeah.
we walked around a little bit last year, and you know, when you said that, it is kind of neat when you're walking through the big rigs there, and every once in a while you'll see the group of gatherings from, you know, all the other truckers. They find their group, and the lawn chairs come out in the tent, and the beverages come out, and they're having their own little get together and their own little party, and you can just see those little groups throughout the whole show, and everybody's just kicked back, having a great time, and it was really cool. It was. I was really impressed on how nice of a show it was last year. So looking forward to this one.
yeah, it's going to be good. We're going to kind of try to have a
Plus, you guys had
central
food.
location with food and drinks and music, and Steve Darnell will kind of be right in that central area. The kids zone will be right there. The car show is going to kind of be, from it, the way it sounds like, on the fringes a little bit, so you'll get to see the cars, and then the big rigs will be spread throughout. So lots of things to look at for
hopefully,
anybody.
Yeah,
you know?
we get that same nice weather that we
I know,
had last
it
year.
was
That
beautiful last
yeah,
year.
both days.
Yeah.
Yeah, should
Yeah, it was a good event. So
should be
looking
even
forward
better
to
than
it.
last. So
Yeah.
I gotta say the logo you guys did for the foundation is cool. I've seen the stickers on a few vehicles around town, and I pick it out right away. So
Yep.
it's like it's like a, I don't know, keepsake, but trademark. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, she
Addlynn's
came
almost
up
straight.
with pretty much the whole idea. I
It's
had
cool.
different pictures of bees and had it written out different ways, and I just put them up on the iPad, and she told Sean and I which ones she liked the best, and that's what
Nice.
we went with.
Yeah,
So yeah,
she's got good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, but
Well, I'm glad that, like I said, you got to take a time and come in and visit with us
Yeah,
and talk
thanks
a
for
little
having us.
glad
bit.
you guys are doing it again
Yeah.
too. It's awesome. So
And are you guys going to be around Sunday, or is it just a Friday and Saturday, or do you guys have something up at the Buggies
we're
and
gonna
Blues?
we're gonna
Okay.
set up at Buggies and Blues.
Okay, so people can come and see you there
Yep,
too.
and I think we haven't quite figured out exactly what we're gonna do, but we're hoping to maybe have like some T-shirts with our logo on and things like that. And we talked about maybe having, you know, kind of like a take and make kit for kids. They can just kind of take it home. We had to figure out if we're gonna focus on bees or cars, though. Maybe
Oh,
we can
sure.
figure out something together.
There you go.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, and we everywhere we'll just have like free will donations, and people can give if they're able to, and if not, we still just appreciate support just in thoughts and prayers too, because those I feel like can move mountains.
It can add up, correct?
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, hope to see, and like I said, come on down, check out Addilynn, say hi to her, and
it's a good time, guys.
it is.
You'll
Definitely
there's
enjoy it.
something there for everybody, and
Yep.
it's going for one of the best causes out there. So.
Yeah. So that's going to be the whole weekend of June 9th, 10th, and 11th. Come on down.
Thought we had a busy weekend.
Yeah,
We ain't doing nothing compared to these guys.
yeah. It's well, we're going to be right there, following
Yep.
behind there.
Yeah,
So we're
trying to keep up.
we got our work cut out too. But you
Yeah.
know, and that's the thing that's nice about this is when Sean came, and I've known Sean for quite a few years. Great guy. He's done some work for me and everything else. And when Sean first approached me about this thing before last year's one, and it wasn't even, I didn't even have to hesitate. I'm like, whatever you want, I'm in. Like, I'll donate, whatever. Like, and I think it's really nice because even last year, going through the show and seeing the other vendors that jumped in to be a participant of this too, which are some big vendors, it's great to see how we can come together and help out for a great cause. And it's good to see a lot of people when you kind of reach out a little bit and you have cool things going on like car shows and stuff, but it's really nice to see other people come together and help each other out and participate in this. So like I said, it was great, awesome. And this year too, Sean came up and he said, "Hey, we're gonna do a second year," and I'm like, "Dude, whatever. Like, I'm down. Put me down again. I'm in. No discussion. Didn't even have to think twice. Just we love helping out as much as we possibly
appreciate
can.
it, for sure.
So check them out. Buggy Blues Weekend, like I said again. And if not, you can check them out on their website and on Facebook, the Addilynn's Bee-Lievers. And if you want to donate or help out, it's definitely going for a good cause. So, go ahead and check it out.
Yeah.
Thanks again, and thanks for listening. And until next time, we'll see you on the next episode.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.